Tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Talk is up. It is ready. It was a long, long Sunday for me. Topped off with the longest, most emotional, most roller coaster like, most life questioning Sunday night game. Chargers at Raiders for the final playoff spot. A win and they're in, a tie and they're in. I spent 4 hours pacing my own living room. I discussed with Omar about it. And here's the interesting part about this week's episode. Omar texted me right as overtime started and said, let's fire up the mics. Let's start the show. Let's watch the end of this game as the first part of the show. And I didn't want to do it. I thought this was too emotional. I was already stressed. I didn't want these things recorded on video, on audio. But he talked me into it. We did it. So as the episode starts, we're in overtime. So buckle up. Get ready. But the Raiders are in. Stress is gone. We can take a deep sigh of relief because the season is over and the playoffs are here. So this Sunday Night Talk, we talk the Sunday night game. We talk Omar's surging San Francisco 49ers. We hit the questions. We dive into the playoff picture. We predict Super Bowls. For the challenge this week are 3 great pieces of audio that I play for Omar as well, get his reactions to it. Not to mention the Sunday MVP, the way too early Coach of the Year. It's not even way too early anymore. It's time. Coach of the Year will be announced. Our predictions will be verified. We hope. And of course, we wrap it up with legal ramifications coming your way. Before we get to the episode, don't forget, go to my YouTube channel, a new Running It Back coming up this week. You're going to want to check it out. Not to mention my stand-up clips are there too. So let's kick off the episode. The season is ending. We take it from the start of overtime of the Sunday night game. I hope you enjoy it. All right, recording this 8:51 West Coast time. Omar Carmona over there. I'm over here, LA studio. Sunday night game just went into overtime. The Chargers will not die. We couldn't get a stop. And in an effort of good.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay with any of this. I hate it. I hate sports. I renounce all religion. In an effort of good luck, here we go. Let's see it. All right, enough of that. All right, we got the kickoff. You're already in a good mood because it was Sunday and your team played a good football game and we sucked the last 4 minutes of this game. However, there's still life.
Still life. And,
I'll just run through some of my.
I was in the same spot you were in. So, I mean, nothing to freak out about. These things happen. My team didn't show up for the first, 28 minutes of the football game.
Yeah, we had it was kind of the opposite in this game. The Rams jumped out to the early lead on you guys, and then you battled back, and then here the Raiders jumped to the early lead, and then they played from ahead the rest of the game, and then the Chargers chipped away with a ridiculous 80-something yard drive with 4 fourth down conversions. It doesn't make sense. It makes no logical sense.
Did that not seem like the longest minute in football?
Yeah,
everything was a pass play and a lot of incomplete passes. Like all the conversions were 3rd and 4th downs.
There was a lot of incomplete passes and a lot of time didn't even run off the clock. Raiders 2nd down and we got a first. Okay, this is good. Yeah. This is good. This is very good. This could save my night. Let me tell you the bets I made during this game. I text my brother, if the Raiders win, I'm going to start going to church. If they lose, I'm going to renounce all religion. So
I don't blame you.
And let me tell you the text I did not send. When the Raiders looked like they were going to win with like 4 minutes to go, I was almost going to make bets like, hey, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, why don't I go to some religious retreat while we're at it?
While we're at it, let's go.
And then I realized
over to God.
And I realized, what am I actually getting out of this? I win the Super Bowl, and why am I penalized for winning the Super Bowl? 2 good first down plays by the Raiders on the ground. So
look at Josh Jacobs, just go.
essentially the offense got a quarter break with that long offensive drive. Nothing could end this game better than just a walk-off touchdown. The field goal, I'm not going to feel good about this at all. The scenario going for Pittsburgh fans, and there's 2 Pittsburgh fans in the audience of this Vegas Raiders games, and it's hilarious because they keep cutting to them.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we have a first down. Raiders have the ball on the Chargers 29. If I'm them, yeah, they do it again. They run again. Let's just keep running. And it's a 10-minute overtime?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
What's left in the game? 8? Okay, so they can't conceivably run out 8 minutes inside the 30, can they?
No, but I mean, if you score a touchdown, it's a walk-off.
Right. We have a touchdown walk-off. So, okay, a little stress has gone away now that the Raiders are inside the 30, 2nd and 10. I don't know if you're like me, but I don't want to see Mariota on any of these offensive sets. I say we go Carr all the way. That's it.
It's looking good. Looking good.
All right, looking good. All right, you're talking me off the ledge here. I don't know how many times you've talked me off the ledge this season.
Well, I think we've all needed. I mean, it's funny. I think that the Raiders and our teams have basically followed the same trajectory most of the season. You know what I mean? We had some good, we had some bad, and here we are, last game of the season, and we are, looking at playoffs.
Right. We joked all season if the season ended today. Well, the season ended today, and now we know the fruits of our labor and our outrageous predictions. We have a third down. I think I'm a little delayed compared to you. I groaned about a second after you. I was almost going to open the show with, in true Chargers fashion, they found ways to give this game away. And somehow they battled back with the going for it on 4th down inside their own 20. Penalties, the Herbert interception. So we'll take a 40-yard attempt here. Ooh.
Wow.
Barely made that. Also, the Chargers missed a kick earlier in the game, too. You know what really upset me? If I'm to be a disappointed dad, the 2-point conversion that the Chargers got after that crazy touchdown.
Right.
It's not enough that we let them get a touchdown on 4th down, that we had to take the extra gut punch and get a 2-point conversion converted on us. So, what a way to end the season. Were you with me on what if we make a blow in a phone call to the Chargers about 5 p.m. and say like, hey, let's just both take knees all game long. Let's both get in.
Could you imagine that? I mean, do you think that at that point, like Goodell would say, we got to change the rules on they all have to be playing at the same time? I don't care.
Right.
Because I mean, it would ruin the spirit of the game, but it would be within the rules as they are today.
Yeah, I don't know how you, in today's modern day of technology where we can see all the games currently, I don't know how you plan against it, but do you think that was a consideration though? Do you think Raiders staff was like...
I don't know. I mean, do you think, let's say you're one of the teams that wants to do it, let's say both teams want to do it, but it would take one to reach out to the other. Do you think it would be like,
who makes the first call?
I don't want to sound cowardly. Like I don't want to call the girl first. You know what I mean?
Right. And also, I'm even in this overtime, I'm like, let's just take knees, guys. We played a good game. We flexed our muscles. We're both going to the playoffs. Why? Let's just take knees.
Right.
All right. We need to stop. We need to stop them on this drive somehow, some way. Pray to the Raider gods that we can get a stop, an interception, a fumble, a turnover on downs, what else could you get? A safety. I'll take a safety. I was almost afraid we were going to have the whole catch argument again with that Charger guy catching the ball like on the 11. Did you think that was a catch?
Yeah, I did.
I
I
was
did.
hoping that the nose of the ball hitting the ground was enough movement for them to wave it off, but they gave him a catch. First down. Here we go. Big gainer for the Chargers.
Wow.
Oh, we have a flag though. We might be coming back. Okay,
Yeah.
we're coming back.
And it's true. The Chargers look gassed.
Yeah, I thought they looked gassed, and then the defensive line instantly was gassed one play behind them. Like they were getting to Herbert, they were rushing him, they were showing Crosby beating his man every time, and then all of a sudden they were tired. They had no rush on Herbert. And what's interesting as well is the Raiders never blitz. They always run the four-man front. They hardly ever blitz. I would have liked something in there. Okay, tackled at the 24. This is still a pitcher's count in favor of the Raiders right now.
Yep.
That's second down. Hey, whose hair would you rather have? Justin Herbert's or Derek Carr's?
Oh, well, as you can see, I'm trying to do my own long, you know.
You still haven't cut it. No, you have not.
So I'm gonna go with I'm into Herbert's hair right now.
You have Herbert hair. How could you?
So I think I need to get one of those like those bands that he gets to make it look real short, like right up here, but then real long.
Okay, we got a third down coming up. Oh, like that. Yeah, how would you, as a man, how would you like to tie your hair back? I could see you going with one of those European shoelace-looking bands.
Yeah,
or
so
you could go like the do-rag.
I think that would be my next move, maybe in a few weeks, and get one of those. Where do I even find those shoelace bands?
You might have to go online. Yeah, that might not be at our local Dick's Sporting Goods in El Paso.
Yeah, I haven't had this hair. I don't think I've ever had the hair this long.
Just watching you mess with it, because I know you're looking at yourself in the screen, is happy enjoyment. Third down. And it is a incomplete, so we're looking at a fourth. Okay, we got a
here's the game right here. It could be the game.
Yep. Okay, fourth down.
We got so much to get to. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I have so much to run down on this game. Let's just hope the game ends here. Let's hope so. I thought for sure the Raiders were going to run away with this when they had the John Madden widow light the flame.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth down.
Here it comes.
You got it? You got it.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I'm hoping for a flag. I don't see one. Fourth down conversion. He's at 7. All right, I think we're flirting with disaster. This is a loss waiting to happen.
But how mature and poised and tired does Justin Herbert look right now?
He looks great. He's hitting everything. There hasn't been that one near interception drop or anything that bails him out. Okay, he's not at the 7. He's at the 27. 27. I misspoke. And they need a touchdown to win it. But I mean, what other script would you have the season end in a game like this? Six fourth downs they've converted. They should just take a knee on first, second, and third down and just play the fourth. All right, we're looking at a second down. All right, we're looking at a third down. However, they're in field goal range, so come fourth down, I imagine they're kicking it. Still, fingers still crossed that something can happen here.
Like, if you're Pittsburgh, what are you thinking right now? Like, how could this possibly happen to you?
I don't know. I don't even want to stand in those shoes for a second.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we're at fourth down. 4th and 6. Okay. Hold on. I'm instantly feeling way better about this. Okay, they make the kick.
The Raiders get the ball back.
We get the ball back. We can see if we can move the ball, but if not, let's just run the ball.
Yeah, you just don't turn the ball over.
Let's just run the ball. And if they want to call timeouts, that'll throw a monkey wrench in it. But if they don't, say I run the ball and they don't call a timeout, I'm saying like, hey, they want us to run this out.
You got it.
Did he get it? He got it. Okay, don't. This isn't bad. A tie gets us in. So let's get the ball and let's go super conservative. And the Chargers will know what we're doing at that point. They're the higher seed. They want us to tie. Right?
You think?
Yeah, because if the Raiders win, they go to Kansas City. Or sorry, if they tie, Raiders go to Kansas City. If the Raiders win, they go to Cincinnati. So,
okay, what if it's the reverse?
If the Chargers win, they go Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh goes Kansas City. If they tie, Raiders go Kansas City, Chargers go Cincinnati. So
do you think they call each other up like, hey, what are the matchups for us? Like, hey, we both have favorable matchups in they're in our favor, and let's.
Chargers.
That would make sense.
Hey, Chargers, what if we just run the ball down your throat like we just did? We win, you're out. What if we take a knee, you hear what we're doing, and you say, fine, take a knee, let's tie, we're both in. Also, I don't know if you're like me, but into that second quarter when it was just the nonstop Herbert ball washing, I was getting upset. I was getting mad at Chris Collinsworth, calling him biased, getting mad at Al Michaels. I said, shut up, Al Michaels, I think 17 times during this game. All right, we'll make the call. You're the coach. What do you think we should do? 4:30. A tie gets us in.
I think either both teams want to go for the win. I don't see how with the way. Well, I got to give the Bengals credit. Who wants to play either of those two teams? I mean, they're both two very dangerous teams at home. I can't say that one matchup is better than the other. I just think that I think you'd rather not play Kansas City because of their postseason experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play Kansas City. No, but if it's play Kansas City or be eliminated, you go Kansas City. All right, good first down catch.
Next week, Joe Burrow is going to be taking his first snaps in the postseason ever. So.
Right. All right, we got a 1st and 10, 4 minutes and counting. I don't think we're on the 40. Okay, we're right on the 50.
You're just watching these ball handlers hold onto the ball like so tight, like there can't be any punch outs, nothing like that.
Right. I am watching these games, especially when we were up by the 2 scores. I'm watching the games like a concerned parent. Like as soon as they wrap up Josh Jacobs, I'm yelling, blow the whistle, because I don't want anybody to take a rip at the ball. I'm like, plays over, get off of him. Okay, I'm feeling good. We're tied. It's 3 minutes, and we're on the 50. I feel like a field goal attempt is very possible. We're going to need 15 more yards, essentially, though.
Oh, face mask.
Oh. Did we get that call? You're a second ahead of me, but... No, and we lost yards. I feel like I can never be optimistic. As soon as I feel optimistic, we lose 4 yards.
I cannot believe that. If you're Pittsburgh, the clock is ticking down to 2.5 minutes right now.
Mm-hmm. Was that a face mask? That's a.
Absolutely a face mask.
I'm watching the replay now. That looks like a face mask.
That.
They really didn't call that.
No.
That would have been our field goal attempt or field goal yardage. 3rd and 8.
Oh. That looks like a catch to me.
We got a first down. We're still alive. We're still alive. These are all the reasons why I like sports and I hate sports. Is it possible to like sports and not have a favorite team? Because it's so much more fun when you don't have a favorite team. Okay, we got a first down. I'm feeling good again.
Very good catch by Jones.
That Jones, I got a little nervous when Carr overthrew him in the first quarter.
Right.
For the touchdown, I was like, oh, this is just going to be our game. This is just going to be our game. We're just going to be that much off all game long.
You missed that.
All right, we got a commercial. By the way, can I say when you texted me you wanted to watch the end of the game with me, I didn't want to do this. I did not want to do this. It sounded too stressful for me.
You got to settle down.
I don't like how I become during these games. I pace around the room. I'm convinced that there's a lucky spot in the room to stand and there's an unlucky spot to stand. I'm clapping. I told you, I texted you, I turned to my father while watching football games. Okay, I'm going to set it up. 2 minutes left in overtime. We're tied at 32. Raiders ball. I'm not sure on what yard line. 45-yard line of the Chargers, 1st and 10. Running play for no gain. Would have been great to get a big gain on that play. Hey, Omar, I'm going to call it right now. This is going to be a tie.
You think so?
There's no rush. A tie is a win.
Look at that.
They're showing the Pittsburgh fan. This is brutal. This is brutal. They're showing the one Pittsburgh fan in the Vegas stadium.
He's so pissed. But look.
Okay, we're at the 38. There's a field goal attempt here. There is a field goal attempt here if we don't gain another yard. Right?
This is a divisional game. Don't you think that there's part of it is like sticking it to your division rival?
There's all bets are off at this point. The season is 27 games long. We're into January. It's going to be 1 a.m. before this game ends. I don't know what's what anymore. Up is down. 3rd and 4. Running play or passing play?
They're going to run it. They're going to run it.
They're going to start run. We got a timeout. If I'm the Chargers, I don't know what to think either. Like, you want to stop them, but they're gonna try a field goal attempt. They're on the 38. That's enough for
who knows? If
I'm this close from turning off my notifications as well because I'm getting texts from people and I don't want to read them. I do not want to read it.
Okay, so let's just if the Raiders right now don't get the first, they run it conceivably. Do they let the clock go down? If you're San Diego, you don't want to stop the clock.
Right.
And so you can both teams can justify not doing anything right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's play smart.
Oh my God.
Why, what'd you say? Okay, see, you're ahead of me. You're making me nervous. Stop talking. Okay, we have a field goal attempt. This is good. Field goal attempt for the win, great. Field goal miss, tie game, great. I feel 75% better. We have a running clock at. Okay, this is the last play of the game. Everybody's in we're in no matter what. We're in no matter what.
The Raiders are in no matter what.
Yes, a tie, we're in. A win, we're in. We got it. Okay, who cares? Take the knee. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing. What if there's a blocked field goal right now and they run it back?
Right. Why are we doing this? Just we don't care. We don't belong in the playoffs anyway. So this is a win no matter what. If you're the Chargers, rough the kicker, jump off sides. Who cares?
Wow, Dan Carlson looks like the roughest kicker ever.
He's got that kicker/meth user look. All right, you're a second ahead.
Does he pull it on purpose?
I don't know. I'm purposely not looking at your screen because I know you're a second ahead of me. I'm going to react to what I'm looking at. Yes! Omar, it's been a long season. I've gone through a lot of emotions in this last 4 hours. I've questioned a lot of life decisions I've made. I've questioned a lot of teams that I've rooted for, jobs, places of residence, a couple bullets I dodged, a couple relationships. I'll give myself that. But ultimately, I feel reborn. New life, I think, is a term that I could use right now. Let me think. Hold on. I have so many people to thank. Okay. I want to thank Starter, the brand Starter, for allowing me to wear starter jackets for the 7th and 8th grade. I also want to thank, let's see. I also want to thank Marcus Allen for first introducing me to football. I want to thank Rich Gannon for taking me to my one Super Bowl in my life so far. Ultimately, I think the biggest thanks goes to Derek Carr. He never gave up. We won the game. And we were in the playoffs. Go Raiders. All right, let's start the show. The game ended 9:17 p.m. West Coast time. How do you feel?
Tired.
Me too. Me too, Omar. I don't know how we're going to get through this show, but we're going to do it. That was too much. It was too much. That was too much.
Wow, that was a lot. And, to end the last game of the regular season, to go to the final kick of the game in overtime, not a second to spare. Wow.
Winning, you're in. Loser goes home. Or the never stated before, we tie, we both fly. Yeah. Was in play. Raiders are in the playoffs. The ceasefire of taking knees did not happen. You chose Herbert's hair over Carr's. I'm just going over my notes from the first quarter. I wrote the early Moreau catch where he ran 50 yards and then fumbled. Then there was the missed TD bomb.
Yeah.
Then there was the punt fumble from the Chargers, and I wrote in quotations, too emotional. That was in the first quarter. I didn't know it was going to be a roller coaster for the next 4 hours.
Right.
All right, we're in. I feel good about this. You want to talk your game? Talk me down. I'm giving you the mic.
Well, my game was great. I mean, the first 28 minutes of the game, terrible. I mean, Rams just dominated every facet of the game. They were getting to Jimmy G. Jimmy wasn't looking that impressive. Our offense wasn't moving the ball. And then our defense wasn't stopping much. Cooper Kupp was Cooper Kupp. What a great receiver.
I wrote in my notes, Jimmy G's thumb. Jimmy G's thumb didn't play for a quarter as well.
It was so numb. And then on the other side, they get that last second field goal at the end of the first half, and there's some momentum and 2 touchdowns right off the bat in the third quarter. Next thing you know, but then we tie them. The Rams then take the lead, and we're left with basically no time and no timeouts. It was something very special to watch Jimmy G, get that final touchdown, and then in overtime we come through.
I turned off the game. I have a secret fear that there's a flag on the field or something. So if anything happens, just tell me, because I turned it off. I don't want anything more to do. I want to tap out. So the emotions are high. You know what else I made a note in your game? The Niners dialed it up that second half, and I do not like these Rams in the playoffs. These Rams find ways to lose. So if I'm a playoff team, I want to play the Rams. If I'm in the NFC, give me the Rams.
It's tough, but here's the thing, like we talked about this before, this year is just, there's a lot more parity. So it's going to be real hard. There's some notable teams, dangerous teams that did not make the playoffs,
Yeah.
There were some spurts this year that we were talking about the Colts, talking about the Ravens. Hey, they're out.
They're out. The Ravens. I have a few thoughts about Ravens and Browns in my notes, but the Ravens are out. Pittsburgh. Who would have thought Pittsburgh was to make the playoffs 3 weeks ago?
Right. The Saints. They were impressing some people. They're out.
They're out too.
And the Eagles sneak in.
That's true too. One of my predictions, Indianapolis is making the playoffs. That's totally wrong.
There you go.
We went from Indianapolis being done and buried and terrible to everybody picking Indianapolis in the playoffs to Indianapolis not being in the playoffs.
Right.
That's how the seasons go. Let me take you straight through my Sunday notes. First off, early morning game, Indy sets the table for this whole mess by losing to Jacksonville in a terrible game. They lose to Jacksonville.
Wasn't that such
rough.
a Jacksonville thing?
Right. There's always, last week of the season, there's always one good spoiler game, one good spoiler team. And it was Jacksonville this year. And then I had in my next note, Big Ben's last game, ? Followed by, now they're in the playoffs.
Right.
That was my next note. The Cincinnati game, I thought Cincinnati was on cruise control. I don't think they really cared to be competitive in this game anyway. Did Burrow play or did they sit him?
They sat him, and rightfully so.
Okay.
The one that I was shocked is, I can't believe, I don't care how cocky you are, how good you guys look. I'm not playing Aaron Rodgers if I'm the Packers, and he went out for a few series. I didn't like that.
That was my next game in my notes. Detroit won the game. I'm not sure if they're the worst team this year or not. I have a little hierarchy going. That was another cruise control game, but I would take my starters out.
Okay.
How deep did he play into that game?
He played. You know what? He was into the second quarter. I think he played something in the second quarter.
Did you see the clip? Well, I saw this on Instagram in the morning. They had all the players who had incentives to make money or bonuses today in the last game of the season, and Gronk had like $1 million on the line. A couple of receivers had $250K, had $500K. Did you see the clip of Tom Brady he was going to be benched because the game was out of hand, and then he grabs his helmet and he says, "You're not taking me out," and he gives Gronk a pass so Gronk can get his bonus. So players take this shit seriously. Take that last game seriously, even in garbage time.
You're right. No, I'm. It was tough. And did Gronkowski get his bonus?
He did, because the next play Brady threw him like a 7-yard out, and he got the yardage needed. In the London game of the day, Bears Minnesota. I don't know who won.
Oh.
I just wrote in my notes, who do you think gets fired first, Matt Nagy or Mike Zimmer?
They're both out. They're both
out.
Who's
first though? Monday, Tuesday?
Nagy was fired sometime tonight, but they'll announce it tomorrow. My guess, and Zimmer will be fired tomorrow.
Okay, so you're going Nagy by a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Close.
And that's the tough thing about Saturday games, because Vic Fangio got fired this morning.
That's true. First coach fired. We had Urban Meyer left. I guess you would count that as first coach out. But Fangio's fired.
Well, John Gruden, first coach out.
That's right. Correct. Yeah, good correction. Gruden, first guy. Was it Gruden or Meyer? It was Gruden. You're right.
Gruden.
Yeah, because Meyer didn't quit till later. Okay, second London game of the day. Washington, New
Yeah.
York Giants.
What I saw a guy on Instagram, I think it was at Dan Orlovsky. He said you want to see um this genius play calling. It was like 3rd and 9.
I have it right here.
Did a quarterback sneak. Oh, it was awful.
New York runs a QB sneak on 3rd and 9 on their own 5, and Chris Myers is calling the game, and he says, "That's an interesting formation." He is perplexed by what they're doing, and then they run it for like a 1-yard gain, and the cascade of boos that comes down onto him. So this leads me to my question for you. Do you think the Giants made a deal with the devil, and that deal was you can win 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots, against Brady, with Eli Manning, but you have to suck for 20 years? Do you think they made that deal? Because I forget that the Giants took down the Patriots twice.
Yeah. But
So you think they made the deal with the devil?
that was once upon a time a very proud franchise. You know what I mean? They won a few Super Bowls in the 80s. So it's so hard to say.
They won the 2 ones against the Patriots.
Yeah, but I'm also in the 80s. They won a couple. They won one they won one in the 80s, and then they won one in the 90s.
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah, that's why I think they made a deal with the devil. They said, "All right, we want to win 2 Super Bowls," but the devil said, "All right, but you suck for 20 years." And they said, "We'll take it."
Yeah, that sounds very plausible. I'll tell you that.
That's an interesting formation. He was confused. He was confused about what the Giants were doing.
It was horrible. It was so bad.
What about this idea? Also, wait, before my idea, Washington's going to have a new name. When are they announcing their new name?
They said before February 2nd or on February 2nd.
Do we care at this point? Do we even care what their name is? I don't think I care.
Another proud franchise that we just really don't care about.
I don't think we care. I think they could stay football team and we don't care. They could be the Generals or Gladiators. And we don't care.
Who cares?
We're over. They should change their whole uniform and attempt a fresh start. What do you think about this idea? I'm watching the games. It's week 18. All these playoff scenarios are afoot. Okay, you know how we have the score ticker at the bottom of the screen? What if we had a playoff scenario ticker in the corner of the screen based on the game we're watching? Because the announcers explain the scenario like, oh, Pittsburgh will get in with a win and then a loss by this. And I'm like, okay, got it. 5 seconds later, I forget that. So we just need a playoff scenario ticker in the corner of the game so we can constantly check it and see what team needs what in the game.
Okay. I like that.
What do you think? What do you think? I constantly was reminding myself, oh, wait, a tie gets us in. A tie gets us in. So I just needed that ticker on the side of the screen. It might have alleviated a lot of stress. I did a lot of stress eating during this game as well. I ate gummy bears. I ate half a pizza. I ate handfuls of Cheez-Its. At one point, I was convinced Cheez-Its were my good luck charm.
Awesome.
Okay, next note. Biggest losers of the season. I got some candidates for you. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, the city of New York, or the ability to taunt. Or write in your own.
How can you argue against Baker Mayfield? I mean, just, his mouth wrote a lot of checks that his ass couldn't cash. And then we have a situation, but also
a lot of progressive commercials.
Urban, but how about some coaches? Urban Meyer, biggest loser. I mean, I don't know if his career is ever going to take off.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't add that in there. That's one good ad. Urban Meyer was a loser this season.
Urban, the rate, the John Gruden, what he lost. He had a very lucrative deal. And now he's basically going to be banned from the NFL. I mean, I'll still believe that Urban will latch on to some college campus somewhere where they just want to win,
Mm-hmm.
But Gruden lost a lot, so I think those two coaches definitely lost a lot.
What about this? I was praying that the Raiders would win so I could float this theory to you. Okay, we're going up against Cincinnati. We're getting all geared up, ready to take the field. Pre-game speech, in comes John Gruden to give the team a very any given Sunday, all the right moves, varsity blues, go out and take the field speech. Number one, is that legal? Number two, how awesome would that be?
Yeah, I think that would be the end of Mark Davis as the owner of the Raiders if that were to happen.
What do you mean the end? He owns the team. He can't end
And
himself, can he?
NFL would take it away from they'd get rid of him.
It's time to revolt.
Yeah.
It's time to start our own league. All right. Favorite 2021 drama. Which one is your favorite? I have 6 nominees.
I'm not saying it's I don't think it's good drama, but gosh, I mean, what happened with the Raiders this year, that was real life. You know what I mean? We're talking about, from Gruden's perspective, misogyny, sexism, possible racism, and epithets that were uttered, and then the
language. I think if I put on my lawyer hat, language. Nobody was harmed. It was language that was his offense.
Okay. Well, then somebody that was harmed, the death in a DWI, intoxicated manslaughter. Possibly someone saved a life by reporting that cornerback that had the machine guns.
Oh, the Instagram guns. Yes.
Yeah, the Instagram guns, and then a few weeks later, then another DWI last week. Only to make the playoffs tonight. So that says a lot.
Omar, in the words of the great John Facenda, the autumn wind is a Raider.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me list you the 2021 dramas that I wrote down. Number 1, Deshaun Watson no signing / complete no-show this season. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers long off season, hosted Jeopardy, trade rumors, and then not only that, the midseason immunization / non-immunization. Number 3, Urban Meyer's long weekend. Number 4, John Gruden resigned for emails / other Raider offenses. Number 6, the Super Bowl contingency to move to Texas. And number 6 drama, the Antonio Brown walk-off. Or write in your own.
No, the Antonio Brown one, that was a big one too, especially that all followed his anti, his fake vaccine card, scandal that he had. That's a good one.
That's your favorite drama though? What was your favorite one?
No, I'm just saying the one that kept me most interested was the Raiders. The Raiders story.
I think on a whole that is the juiciest one. Is Gruden, Ruggs, which is just tragic. It's not even juicy. It's just tragic that this guy ended his career.
If I can throw another one in there, the end of and it's going to be extended a week apparently, but the end of Roethlisberger's career, from what it looks like.
Okay.
And I say that because I think in any other season we would be like, wow, this was an impressive near 20-year career. The only problem is we live in a universe now where Tom Brady did it and some. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look as impressive as it would have but for Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So
is Roethlisberger in the Hall of Fame? Do you think
absolutely.
He's the first? Yeah,
no doubt. He's a first balloter, I think.
Okay.
2 Super Bowls.
I don't know.
2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls. You're right. Yeah, he's a first ballot. You're right. It would be great if, in the spirit of pro wrestling, Antonio Brown ran onto another end zone this week and did another walk-off.
Yeah.
Did another end zone dance just in a timeout. I would love that. That'd be hilarious. So, pretty heavy season. I mean, it seems, we've watched football forever. Was more stuff packed into one season than this season? We had COVID stuff protocols and stuff to constantly keep an eye on this season. We had dramas. We have internet. We have Instagram stuff to follow from players. It feels like the season is packed, and maybe it always will be now. But it seems like every week we had 10 dramas to sort our way through. So Those were my Sunday notes. Unless you have something else, I have the playoff picture to look at.
Let's throw in some predictions.
I got one thing to throw in. Joe Montana 6-part documentary. How pumped are you for this?
I'm gonna watch that. That looks great. I'm gonna watch it.
We need to figure out when and where this is happening. We need to do a review.
Yeah,
on the Joe Montana. Yeah, we need to do a breakdown of that. When I saw that, I was like, this is right up my alley. We had the John Madden doc. We've got the Man in the Arena Tom Brady going around. And then Joe Montana 6-part series. I'm like, I'm all in. Take my money. I'm watching this all the way. And we talked about earlier in the year that we wanted to see more Joe Montana.
Hey, we do. We always want to see more Joe Montana.
All right. If the season ended today, well, Omar, the season did end today.
It ended.
Playoff picture. I just have the NFC in front of me because I was too consumed with the Raiders and pulling out my own ear hair.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the matchups?
I have the NFC matchups. I don't have the AFC in front of me.
I want to do.
Let me read you off.
Let's do the.
All right, I'm going to read off.
I got the games right here.
Okay, go ahead. You start it off. Give me our matchups.
Saturday, the first game is your Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be on NBC at 2:30.
Always the potentially worst game of the weekend is that early Saturday game.
It is. So you tell me.
Okay, we'll take it.
Thinking? Raiders at Bengals.
Raiders at Bengals. Okay. I had a segment I wanted to do with you, but let's just do it now. It's going to be called Make an Argument For. It's going to be total speech and debate. I'm going to give you a team, and you make an argument for it. So you give me Raiders. Here's my argument for the Raiders. Number one, never bet against a team on a hot streak. Never bet against a Marquette when they just took down an ace seed. Never bet against a team who has some reason to win that's off field. We lost John Madden. We lost John Gruden. This is the first season we have fans in the stands. In the true spirit of Las Vegas, never walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
There you go. That's not bad reasoning. But I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase. There's just a lot of weapons that the Raider defense is gonna have to account for.
Yeah, and to piggyback on the Cincinnati argument, this might have been the Raiders' Super Bowl tonight. This might have been the win.
Yeah, there could be a letdown.
There's a letdown. They've got to go to cold Cincinnati, and it might be like, hey, we're just happy to be here. So I see the Cincinnati argument as well. But never walk away from the table when you're on a heater. All right, give me the next game.
Okay, next game, CBS that afternoon, the evening. Patriots at the AFC East champions Buffalo Bills.
That's the game of the weekend to me. I can't wait to watch that.
It's a division game, right?
Third matchup of the year.
I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one.
Okay, make your argument for the Bills.
I've said it before on this show. Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's gonna make just enough plays to get past Bill Belichick at home. The Bills Mafia is going to be loud. They're going to be crazy. It's a home game in Bills Mafia land. They're excited, and I think they like their chances. I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay. If I'm making an argument for the Patriots, it's very, very simple. Do not bet against Bill Belichick if you give him 3 tries. Ooh. This is his 3rd game playing the same team. Bill Belichick will figure you out. So that's my argument for the Patriots. And I think it's a strong one.
That's a good argument. That's a very good argument.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, early game on Sunday morning. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, what team do you want?
I mean, I'm going to take the easy one. I'll take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game is going to be the worst game of the weekend. This is going to be a blowout. Even with two major targets that Tom Brady's not going to have in Antonio Brown, in Chris Godwin. I still think there's too many weapons on the Buccaneers. they're going to win by 2 touchdowns at least.
Okay. Easy argument to make. I get that. Defending champs at home. This is a stretch, but hear me out. Okay. Jalen Hurts, in a repeat of what happened to him in the BCS championship 3 years ago, is pulled from the game for Gardner Minshew. And thus,
like a Tua,
exactly, in a repeat, of the BCS. He is pulled for Gardner Minshew, and he brings them back and pulls the upset. Okay, you're gonna have to suspend disbelief for that one, but that is my argument for Philadelphia.
Okay. Next game, probably as far as the football purists go, the best game of the weekend. My 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to make an argument for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, wow. Great use of speech and debate, making an argument for. True lawyer, Omar. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to go. I mean, it's at home. Dak Prescott, weapons, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke. Hopefully they get their running game on track, but I think that the 49ers defensive backs, they can be exposed. So I think with big receivers like CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, there could be some problems for the 49ers defense there. And if that Dak Prescott plays smart, I could see the Cowboys moving on.
Okay.
Make an argument for my Niners. Make a good argument, Pat. Make a great argument, Pat.
I'm hot. I'm coming down from a win. Okay. Argument for the 49ers. Just like today, if the 49ers keep it close, they can come back. We saw it today. They went down, 17-0 to the Rams, and they battled their way back. If the Niners stay close, they can battle with the Cowboys. They've gone on the road. They've come back from deficit. They have weapons. Jimmy G's thumb will be fully taped or healed or whatever. And you know how every playoff there becomes a Cinderella kicker? Like, oh, this guy made the kick to send him to the playoffs. He made a couple wild card game kicks. Robbie Gould, the 49ers kicker, can be that Cinderella kicker this year. Remember it was that Tynes guy from the Giants that Super Bowl year? He can be their Cinderella kicker this year.
Right. Okay. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Okay. Are we on to Monday?
No, Sunday night. We got Pittsburgh Steelers at Kansas City Chiefs. I am going to say that I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Kansas City Chiefs are prone to give up the big play. Okay, now granted, big plays with Ben Roethlisberger lately have been fewer and far between, but you still can't discount that he does have weapons. Chase Claypool, Deontay, Juju, Najee Harris, their tight end Freemouth. I don't know how I can pronounce it, but they still have weapons. So I could see Pittsburgh, getting enough plays, and then their defense can also make teams make mistakes. They held the Ravens today. When you play Pittsburgh, you're expecting this real low scoring, cold weather game. And that may be something that is in their favor. Take the Chiefs.
Okay. You know what I wanted to argue with Pittsburgh as well is there's always an upset, and this could be that upset game.
Could be.
There's always a number one seed type upset. Okay, but KC, if I'm making the argument for KC, I'm making the same argument I would for Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's just happy to be there. Their playoff was getting into the playoffs. They're going to go down 14 points in the second quarter, and it's just going to be a Ben Roethlisberger ball-washing fest for the rest of the game. It's his final game. Farewell, true warrior to the game. KC's the better team, and the Steelers were just happy to be there. But you get a win, or you get a sentimental win, because Ben Roethlisberger goes out as a playoff QB. But KC wipes the table with them. They're up. They go up 14, and the game is over in the second quarter.
Yeah, that could happen. So the Monday Night Football game, Cardinals, Rams. I'm going to say, this is going to be my upset of the week.
This is in LA or in Arizona? I forgot.
In LA. I am, because the Rams won the division. I am going to say that the Cardinals do pull off an upset, Kyler Murray is going to make enough plays with his legs and arm to
Mm.
win the football game. I'm taking the Cardinals.
I wanted to argue for AZ too because the Rams they just look weak. They look so beatable. Even if they're up 21 points, they look like you can come back on them. Okay, but I'm arguing the Rams. So, Rams, a lot of weapons.
Ugh,
Odell.
They do.
So many weapons. Odell, Cup,
Defense. You got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald,
Von Miller. So, okay, this is making sense. So many weapons for the Rams. McVay and the staff put together the game plan of all game plans, and they just have their number every play. Kyler Murray gets a little frustrated in the third, throws a pick, and the Rams get a 13-point lead or get a 10-point lead, and they effectively just hang on through the finish. So if the weapons come together, the Rams will put up points at home. So I can see the Rams winning using all their weapons, offense and defense.
That could happen.
Going Rams. All right. What do you stand on this Monday night playoff game?
I think that the NFL is inching a lot closer to Friday night football. So I think in 5 years, you and I are going to be talking. There's going to be a Thursday night, a Friday night, a Saturday night, an abbreviated Sunday docket because obviously there's now Friday and Saturday. I think we are on the verge at some point in time being a 5-night-a-week NFL dominates our and you get the feeling that it would be on one of those like Nickelodeon would get their own game.
Yes, every week. That.
Every week they'd have at least one game, and no one else has it. Like you're an NFL fan, and you would have to sit through, and it'd be like a family. It'd be like it'd be the great night. It'd be Friday because it would be like a family, Friday night, family night type. Friday fun night NFL game.
Yeah. Well, remember the inception of TGIF back in the day? It'd be a Friday night lineup of family-friendly shows, and we would all watch it. We'd watch Family Matters and Step by Step. This is not crazy. I don't think it's a crazy idea at all. And I also think we are just breaking open the possibility of March Madness for the NFL playoffs. Every day there's a game. Every day there's a fun game. We have Nickelodeon's announcers doing a game. We have Bravo TV's announcers doing a game. Like, it sounds fun. Don't you think that'd be fun?
It's going to happen. So yes. I don't mind. I think we're inching closer. So I think this is just another step into what I would prefer football every night. But that'd be
next
fun.
Category / question. This category is usually the way too early predictions. Then we turned it into the too early predictions. Now it's just predictions. Okay, 2 questions in this question. What Super Bowl do you want to see, and what Super Bowl will we see?
Okay, I would like to see. Okay, I would love to see in honor of Chris Berman, Boomer. Okay. I would love to see a 49ers Bills, okay, because he's been wanting one of those since 1992, I think. Give me a 49ers Bengals. That'd be so great to see. They played twice in the 80s in the Super Bowls. I'd love to see something like that. But I got to be realistic here, okay? And I'm gonna go. I think the number 1 seed in the AFC does go down. Okay. I am going to go Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl.
Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl. That's what we'll see. Makes sense. Wait, I thought you said, oh no, number 1 seed is Tennessee. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Tennessee's the number 1.
I take it back. Bills Packers.
Bills Packers. That's what you're going. That's what we will see.
I'll go Bills Packers.
Bills Packers. That's a fun matchup. I like the sound of that.
That can be. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start with the Super Bowl I want to see. I want to see my Las Vegas Raiders right here avenge the loss of Super Bowl II to the Green Bay Packers. So I want to see the Las Vegas Raiders take on the juggernaut that is Aaron Rodgers and take them down. That's the Super Bowl I want to see. Okay, the Super Bowl I think we will see. I want to go Cowboys versus Tennessee Titans.
Really?
I think that's what we're gonna see. I don't know why
If that
Tennessee.
happens, I'm going to send a letter to Roger Goodell that you make the Titans go out in the Houston Oilers jerseys.
I would sign that note, Omar. I will sign that note in support of that. I don't know why I have no argument for the Titans, but I'm gonna say Cowboys Titans is a Super Bowl we will see. Okay, make me angry. I don't have a anger. I don't think this is gonna anger you. But my question for you this week is San Francisco quarterback controversy. Is there any chance we're going to have to talk about this again? Is there any chance Jimmy G doesn't play great?
You and I are gonna talk about a quarterback controversy probably sometime in August or September, when we're talking about that. Yes, the 49ers will move on to another starting quarterback in Trey Lance next year, but for right now, you got to ride Jimmy G even with a bad thumb.
Do we have any Jimmy G talk if he plays bad that Trey Lance is going to come in to relieve him?
I don't think so, because I think we would have seen some, based on that first half, how Jimmy G really was ineffective for those 28 minutes. And there was no talk then, so I don't see why it would happen in the playoffs.
Do you see any scenario where Trey Lance comes in and effectively becomes the starter from there on?
No, I mean
Really?
it would have to be Jimmy G tells Shanahan, I cannot throw up the ball because of my thumb. So put it would be Jimmy saying put him in because I can't.
I'd ask you for a make me argument question for me, but I was essentially angry for 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't want to make you angry. I think you should be happy right now. So be happy.
Just replay that fourth quarter and get me angry. We're up 2 scores. I told you my dream is to be up by 14 points.
Yeah.
And we were. We usually do franchise 1-year deal or send to the practice squad, but I'm just nixing that for just a general question for you. In all of sports, who's the greatest sports franchise? Now, our Mount Rushmore might be Yankees, Lakers, Cowboys. Could I say someone like Notre Dame? Could I even throw a college in there?
You could. I don't see why you couldn't.
Greatest sports franchise. My thought is I'm leaning towards the New York Yankees. Just as an icon, as a historic, even though baseball isn't our pastime anymore, but I think it still carries weight. And close second, I might say Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I would say that too. I would say that those are the top 2 that are locked in. After that, Lakers, but then you're gonna have some Celtics, fans complaining about.
Celtics got to be in there. You're right.
Celtics fans will be complaining about that. In the NFL, that's pretty much that you hit it with the Cowboys. I mean, Steelers are gonna want to make an argument, Packers may have an argument. In baseball, yeah, it's the Yankees by far, and back behind them somewhere floating around, you gotta throw in the Dodgers and the Red Sox somewhere. Even the St. Louis Cardinals have had just a long history.
That's an outside thought. Yeah,
it's an outside, but they do have a long history of dominating. I mean they do win a lot of times. Many years of big wins.
So we're in agreement. It's got to be Yankees, and there's got to be the debate is really for second place somewhere, right?
Yeah, but I think the Cowboys even have second place locked up. I mean, are we going to throw hockey out there? Because then, are we?
I didn't have a hockey team in there, to be honest.
Are we asking? The Canada? Because if we're asking Canada, then it's the Montreal Canadiens, and then if you mentioned Notre Dame, well, that's obviously that's a very iconic, but they haven't done much in a long time. And then does Coach K have an argument with the Duke Blue Devils? And
that's a good one. Yeah, college basketball.
But then if you go old school on college basketball, does UCLA have the this is iconic basketball? That's a tough argument to make.
That's a good one too, right? There's a couple in there as well. I think Yankees, and then there's a big scramble for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah.
Best sports franchise in history. All right, this week for the challenge, something special for you. Last week we touched on John Madden. We've always loved radio, you and I. So I got a couple videos I want to play for you to listen. I want to see if you've seen these videos before in their entirety. So let me start with number 1.
The crowd takes up a chant of defense. Robisky and Banaszak are the backs. Slot right, Branch inside. Bradshaw, Stabler back. Here comes the rush. He sidesteps. Can he throw? He can't. The ball flipped forward is loose. A wild scramble. 2 seconds on the clock. Casper grabbing the ball. It is ruled a fumble. Casper has recovered in the end zone. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Madden is
the Heidi
on the
game.
field. He wants to know.
That is
Holy Roller game.
They said,
the Holy Roller game,
get
yeah.
your big butt out of here. He does. There's nothing real in the world anymore. The Raiders won the football game. The
Holy Roller
Chargers are
game.
standing, looking
Right.
at each other. They don't believe it. Nobody believes it. I don't know if the Raiders believe it. It's not real. 52,000 people minus a few lonely Raider fans are stunned. A man would be a fool to ever try and write a drama and make you believe it. This one will be relived forever.
So that was 1978 Raiders Chargers. I wanted a Raiders Charger theme. John Madden, coach of the Raiders. But I think we all know that radio call as he wants to know if it's real. They say, yes, get your big butt out of here. But that's where we usually end it. I like the end of it where he says, is there anything real in the world anymore?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A man could never write a script to this. This will be relived forever. I love that radio call. I also didn't know that game was in San Diego. You know, the Raiders are wearing their dark jerseys in
Right.
that video, but the game's in San Diego, actually. And the play is the Holy Roller where they fumble it forward,
And
which is
Casper
now
recovers.
which is now illegal, but was totally legal at the time. And they're doing the celebration where a team wins, but you don't know if you won for sure, so it's confused celebration. So John Madden coach team, a great radio call as well. And it's a radio call you never really get to hear in its entirety.
Right.
So, okay, I'm going to play you clip number 2. All right, here we go. Tell me when you think you recognize this clip.
And on the draw, Hayward, nothing. And great play made that time. Hey, we got some duking going on. Andre Rison and Deion Sanders.
Oh, Andre Rison, Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I think
That was in Atlanta. It was on my uncle's wedding. I remember that. There had been some drawing back and forth. And remember, Deion was a former Falcon.
This was talked about this week.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, his former team.
I know, yeah, they went at it.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Deion had a pick six that game, and he picked it off, and it was alongside the Falcons sidelines. As he zipped right by him, he looked back at them and had words for them as he's flying down the sideline. And then, of course, he did his little dance.
What's great about it is they're going toe-to-toe, and the announcer is almost excited to call the fight, to call the blow-by-blow. And Deion throws like 5 left hooks into Rison, and then Rison throws a couple lefts. And then if you could see the video, as soon as the referee jumps in, Rison takes 2 big steps backwards. So it's almost like it's kind of like 2 guys who didn't really want to fight. And as soon as there were an excuse to get out of it, Rison jumps back. And then you're right. I think a series later, Deion takes a pick back to the house and does a great high step dance all the way back. So another great announcing job of being excited to call a fight in the NFL.
I remember that.
Okay, last one. I know you're going to know this one.
8 seconds left. Got to go to the end zone now.
They have to go to the end zone now and hope that they either score a touchdown or they get it within 8 seconds so they get another play.
Three-man rush, and Young stumbles on the way back and fires up the middle. Pass is caught by Owens.
The
Owens
catch
made the
part
catch.
2.
Yep.
Listen to John Madden. Look at his excitement in this.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it again. Look how happy he is that this play happens.
You know, obviously there's a lot going on there.
This is amazing.
They cut to a shot of Brett Favre looking disappointed, and this was Brett Favre with the goatee at the time.
Right.
He looks like a disappointed dad.
A lot of people don't remember that in that drive, Jerry Rice fumbled the ball, and
He fumbled the ball. You're right.
And the Packers recovered it, and there was no instant replay back then. So you know the refs called that play down for the Niners, and then obviously they got lucky. Steve Young stumbles, and Terrell Owens was having a terrible game. He had a bunch of drop balls that game. So the fact that they went back to him after being so shaky, amazing.
You mentioned the Jerry Rice fumble. The play before the catch, Steve Young throws a ball and the receiver fights off a defender from intercepting it too. He fights off a Packer who has it in his hands and he drops it, and then the Niners have that shot at it. And yeah, you're right. T.O. he drops a pass because he complains about the sun in his eyes earlier in the game. And just the John Madden call, he's just so excited to see T.O. score the touchdown.
That was cool.
Where do you stand on calling that play the catch part 2? Do you think it's worthy of being called the catch?
Because it happened at Candlestick, the catch part 2, it'll never be a catch part 1 again. I mean, that one play set off a dynasty in the 80s for the Niners. So, but I'm okay with it being called part 2.
Okay. I would think it was just a divisional game. It wasn't for the Super Bowl. I thought that was a little presumptuous that it's called the catch part 2. But it's an awesome play. It is. It's full of drama. T.O. starts crying after the play. Great John Madden call. So a throwback to John Madden, radio calls, and our teams throughout history. All right, the awards for this week. Sunday, MVP. Who won this Sunday, Omar?
I'm gonna stick with right here to get him in. I'm gonna go with Deebo Samuel. He just a superstar. He was a problem for the Rams today, and big moment. He made some big plays. So I'm gonna go Deebo Samuel for the 49ers.
This one pains me to say, but you know who I'm going to give the Sunday MVP to is Justin Herbert. I think this is one of those games where you take into next season.
For sure.
He had a heroic performance in a loss.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to complete any of those passes, but he converted 6 fourth downs, 2 fourth downs for touchdowns. So I think he, in some weird way, in a loss, he's the Sunday MVP, even though he lost the chance to go to the playoffs. What about, it's not even way too early Coach of the Year anymore. Who do you think is going to get this Coach of the Year?
I'm between LaFleur could possibly get it from Green Bay. I think he's done a great job. Best start, I think best 40-game start in the history of NFL, or not 40, a 48-game start in the history of the NFL. Also, I think that Zach Taylor for the Bengals has really proven himself to be a quite capable coach. So between those two, it's a close one. I want to give the edge to Zach Taylor.
Okay.
I'm
sticking with Mike Vrabel.
I think from where they were 2 years ago, looking at drafting the number 1 pick, you end the season, you're in the gutter, and you go and get a franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow, and now they're in the playoffs. It's a good story.
That's a good argument. I didn't think about that, but from Joe Burrow second-year injury last year to the playoffs. That's worth looking at. I went Mike Vrabel just because if it's by voting, they'll take the easy way out and pick whatever team had the best record.
Right.
Is there an argument to make for Rich Bisaccia, the Raiders coach, Edward James Olmos lookalike? What has this guy had to deal with the second half of the season?
I wouldn't mind him getting it either, or getting at least serious consideration. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think something needs. I'm very curious to see what his position is next year in the Raiders organization. I don't think there's any way he stays on as head coach, but he definitely did good time served. So is he special teams coach again? Does he become a coordinator? I don't know. Does he want any of this? Does he say like, you know what, this is too stressful. I want to go back to special teams. Yeah, we had a good run, but yeah, we burned hot for a short amount of time, but I'm done with that. So I'm going Mike Vrabel. Legal ramifications, my favorite category every week. 2 questions this week, Omar. You spoke to us a few weeks ago about how you become a lawyer, law school, you take the bar, your very first case. How does one, though, become a judge? I never hear anybody say, all right, I want to grow up and be a judge. I hear they want to be a lawyer, but what's the path to becoming a judge?
It's one of 2 ways. Most of the time, you're either appointed or elected. So there are certain state bodies that have judicial elections. Texas, they do have judicial elections from the highest levels of court onto the municipal levels of court, and that one you just have to run. It just becomes a popularity contest. Unfortunately, voters don't really care so much about qualifications like they should. It does eventually come down to who had the prettiest colors on their signs, who photographed the best, who's got the best commercials, which is pretty unfortunate. And then there's appointed, but sometimes, the argument against appointed lawyers or appointed judges is it becomes a game of political favors, and people moving up the ranks and people getting jobs that they really didn't earn, but it was who they knew. But at the same time, when they're appointed, sometimes you like to believe that, hey, this person was appointed to be a judge because they really do stand out, and they really, as a lawyer, and we think that they're going to be a good judge. So there's an argument too for and against both appointed and elected judges.
What qualifications does a judge have? Do they go to law school also? Do they typically have
all judges for the most part were lawyers too.
So they were typically lawyers, and then they become judges. You can be appointed, or you can be elected. It sounds like that crosses into a different realm, though, like you said, with the elected. Whereas if you're a lawyer, you're out on your own. You make your own way. Right.
Yeah, you can look at it that way.
And does anybody go to law school and say, I want to be a judge one day?
You could. But it
doesn't seem like I've ever heard that.
No, you could conceivably, but I think it'd be very presumptuous because you have no idea where your career is going to go after law school.
Oh, I see. So being a judge is something to consider after you've established yourself as a lawyer, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Huh. If you become a judge, does anyone become a judge and eventually go back to being a private lawyer? Yeah. It does happen.
It does happen, yeah.
Is being a judge difficult? What do you go through as a judge if you're on the day-to-day?
The joke is, what do you call a oh shit, I forget the old joke. What do you call a lawyer with a low IQ? A judge.
Lawyer jokes.
It's something like that. I forget, but yeah.
So they're like looked down upon. What's the feeling as a lawyer to a judge?
That's what it is. What do you call a lawyer with a low IQ? What, Your Honor?
Oh, wow! You lawyers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's looked down upon. It's a very honorable part of our profession. But unfortunately, there are...
What are you, backpedaling after you tell the
Yeah, that was a backpedaling case that never gets out. But unfortunately, there are some great judges out there that really do respect the profession we are in, and do make the, whether it be whether it be of the popular call or not, they're not afraid to make what they feel is a just call, and that's all you really want from a judge.
Second question, you talked about one of the most important things about being a lawyer was being able to pick a jury. What questions, take me as an example, what questions would you ask me if I was in a jury pool? Is there a standard route that you start with questions, or is it individual to every case?
The bottom line is you talk about a lot of different topics, but essentially it's, can you be fair? Because
what kind of question would you ask to determine that to a juror?
Well, no, yeah, you don't just start by asking. What I like to do is I like to lecture a lot, and then I'll ask maybe a few questions, because I want them to understand everything I'm saying, and basically now giving you the lecture on what the law is and what fairness is. Can you follow that? A question is, Patrick, do you like to hear both sides of the story? Wasn't that like an obvious question? Like, yeah, everyone likes to hear both sides.
Yes,
of the story.
I would answer yes.
Yeah,
but everybody would answer yes.
Right, but then what if I told you, well, in a criminal case, what if you don't hear my side as the defense lawyer? What if you don't hear my side of the story? Because I don't have to put on a case. So can you be fair? And then some people, they say, well, no. Some people say, yes, I can be, and I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't put on a defense or if your client doesn't testify. But some people will say, yeah, if I'm accused of a crime, I'm going to testify in my own favor. So you just got to make sure you just basically, can you be fair?
All right. Well, give me a couple specific questions. Pretend I'm in your jury pool. Give me a couple. Okay. See if you would choose
Patrick,
me or not.
If my client decides, you've heard the worst story about my client and some pretty serious accusations. But let's say that the government didn't prove one of the elements of, let's say they didn't prove El Paso County, Texas, that the offense occurred in El Paso County, but everything else they did prove. Couldn't you find him not guilty?
So the question is, they proved some stuff, but not what in the county? What do you mean? I didn't understand.
That it occurred in El Paso County. So for a jury in El Paso County to decide it has to have happened, the crime had to have happened in El Paso County. But let's say nobody proved that where this happened exactly was in El Paso County. So they've proven that there was a murder, that there was a confession, they've proven all this stuff, but no one proved that it was El Paso County. Will you find him not guilty?
Okay, hold on. Let me think about that. Would I find him not guilty if we were unsure where the crime occurred? Am I understanding the question?
Yeah, so you believe the crime occurred and you believe that my guy did it. But what you don't have proof of is, did it really happen in El Paso County?
And then thus that means I can make a not guilty argument? I don't understand. Yeah. But I think he did it. I would say he did it, and if we don't know where, then I would say that would be regardless of if I think he's guilty or not. Is my logic making sense?
You would be off the jury.
All right, give me another one. I like this.
Going against with that one, if my client decides not to testify, and would you hold it against them?
Not necessarily. It's to my understanding that most defendants don't take this stand. Am I wrong? Or am I just thinking OJ?
No, that's true. That's true.
Okay. No, I wouldn't hold it. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if you were to ask me that question.
Okay. Let's see. There you go.
All right. I'm still on the jury?
On that one, you're still on the jury.
All right. Nice. I'll take it. All right. Legal ramifications. We learned how to become a judge. We learned a lawyer joke. And we learned that I'm 50-50 shot of getting on your jury.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Sunday night, week 18 was jam-packed with emotion. I'm glad we're through it. Omar, we're both in the playoffs.
Both in the playoffs. Let's enjoy it.
Let's enjoy it indeed. Listen to that. Doesn't it put you in a good mood?
It's awesome. I love it. Keep it up.
For the Sunday Night Talk, Omar Carmona and his San Francisco 49ers. Next week, for me, Patrick Ramirez, going to Cincinnati. I'm glad it's over. Omar, thank you. We'll see you in the playoffs. Okay, that is it. That is the episode. That is the Sunday Night Talk, the longest Sunday Night Talk to date. I don't know how I would have handled the Raiders losing. Once I saw that worst case scenario was going to be a tie, a huge weight was off my shoulders, but that was stressful. That fourth quarter was not enjoyable. Watching the Chargers convert fourth down after fourth. Look, all right, we don't need to get into it. The Raiders are in the playoffs. I'm happy. You should be happy too. Carmona's in the playoffs as well. What an episode. We broke new ground. A lot of categories, a lot of audio, a lot of talking, a lot of pontificating, a lot of predicting. That's what the NFL is. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my other videos on the channel and be ready for another Running It Back episode coming out this week. I hope you give a listen to it. It is a conversation I've been waiting to have for a long time with another comedian, so go check it out. For Omar Carmona, for me, Patrick Ramirez, this was the Sunday Night Talk. Have a good week, everybody. We will see you in the playoffs.